What's up, YouTube streets? This is Kiki Speaks, and I'm back for another review for Summer House Martha's Vineyard Season 2, Episode 3. So let's just jump right into it, right? We pick up where Episode 2 left off, where Nick is entering Summer and Jordan's room to talk to them about if he makes them feel uncomfortable or not. So he asks them, and they respond with, well, you do get a little handsy, but it's not inappropriate. Um, he assures them that he doesn't mean to make them feel uncomfortable. And if they do start to feel uncomfortable in the moment, just let him know, and he'll back off. And he wants to make sure that they remain friends, and that they know that he sees them as friends. But in the same token, and they agree with him, but in the same token, Jordan is in her confessional, and she says that Nick, it can be a little could be a little handsy, but it's also disrespectful to his relationship that he has with his girlfriend. He should be more mindful of that versus whatever else. I hope you told him that, Jordan. I hope what you said in that confessional, you said to Nick in person as well. It didn't have to be on camera. Just make sure you said that to him off camera, right? Shanice's neon party is happening. Everybody's getting ready, and while everybody's getting ready, mainly Shanice, she's on the phone with her mother. She tells her mom that Summer uh, told everybody or said to everybody that she's the worst dress in the house. And Shanice got really upset because Summer knows her situation. So she wondered why, Summer would come out and say that, knowing that that's her situation. Her mom, her mom immediately goes to Summer must be jealous of Shanice. I don't think Summer is jealous of Shanice. I really don't. But that must have been the go-to for Shanice growing up, which, I mean, I assume so, right? And then her mom went on to call Summer a bitch and told her to ignore her, and or whatever the case is, and saying that she should have went off on Summer for calling her the worst dress. It's not that deep, it's not that deep, Shanice. But I understand what you mean by that. Summer knew your issue, or she knew your situation, and she just blurted it out. That you're the worst dress, knowing your situation. I completely get it, and it made you feel some type of way. I completely understand. But Shanice's mom sounds very young minded, and I mean that respectfully. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but it seems like Shanice's mom was a young mother who grew up with her daughter, or she's that kind of mom who wants to be more so friends with her child versus more of a mother. I don't know. I could be wrong. Just the way that she act, and she went on about this as if she had no truth about her. um just seems a little off-putting, like, because, man, I don't know. The neon party begins, and everyone seems to genuinely have a good time. They're drinking, they're playing the slip and slide game, flip cup, and all of that. At this point, it becomes even more evident to me that Jasmine is pregnant, just by the way that she avoids drinking and the way that she slips down the slide on her side versus on her belly. Which is understandable, but that, she's probably very early on and doesn't want to say anything to anyone just yet. So she's in the safe zone, which is very understandable. But anyway, during the party, Shanice's two friends, Hendrix, and I forgot the other guy's name, but I think they said that he looked like Bad Bunny. The two of them arrive in this black Corvette, and Shanice takes them back by the pool, where they join in with everybody else to start mingling around. Noel immediately takes notice of the two guys and is excited to have, fresh meat in the house, as she said. Um, And she and Hendrix, they start to get a little vibe going. They start flirting back and forth with each other or whatnot. And I could see, or everybody saw, Alex, side eyeing a little bit, seeing like, what's going on with Noel and dude, but not saying anything. Then Noel and Hendrix decide they want to share a cupcake. So Hendrix is on one side, Noel is on the other side, and they just eating the cupcake up. I mean, like, girl, but you just met him. You don't know where his mouth really been, but you single, sexy, and free. Do you, boo? Do you, right? That's just my opinion. I wouldn't be eating no cupcake from all some dudes. That's just not me. But anyway, do you, boo, right? Everybody finished up in the pool with the party and everything. Alex and Noel have a little bit of a moment in the kitchen where they're flirting a little back and forth. And then she's asking him when was the last time he was in a relationship. He says it was months ago. Uh, months ago. Was that summer? I don't know. Speaking of summer, she interrupts them by entering the kitchen, says that she's looking for her phone. Right? Um, anyway, most of the house go out, they have fun, continue partying or whatnot. The next day, Amir and Nick gets up to start cleaning up. The yard is full of food and drinks from the night before. They're cleaning up, they're trying to get everything straight. I feel like that should have been a whole house activity. Cause I'll be damned if I'm cleaning up after grown ass people. I will not be doing that. Everybody would be outside when I'm outside picking up each piece like we in community service. If you need a stick, here you go. Boom, 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 boom. You need a garbage bag? Yep, here you go. We all would have been doing it. I ain't picking up after no grown ass people. We all grown here. Everybody know how to clean up after themselves, so let's do so. Nick and Amir are better than me, especially Amir because he seems like he gets, he gets caught up in a lot of the household chores. He cooks, he cleans, he cleaning up, he cooking for everybody, clean up after. Yeah, that wouldn't have been me. He doing laundry. Yeah, we ain't doing that. Everybody responsible for themselves, right? Shanice and Jordan are talking initially about Shanice finding somebody or hooking Jordan up with somebody in the area to help her with her new wig. Then Jordan goes into how she had to, or actually Shanice says that she hasn't talked to Summer yet about, the issue that they had with her saying that Shanice was the worst dressed. Jordan then goes into saying that she had to cuss Summer out before they got to the house. Summer was making out with one of Jordan's favorite bartenders in front of Jordan's building. And she said that it was getting real hot and heavy, which leads me to believe that they were doing more than just kissing, that they were ready to bang bang. You know what I'm saying? But Jordan, put Summer in her place, saying that it was basically that she was doing too much and that it was unacceptable of her, especially because she's one of the few Black women that lives in that building or within that area of New York City, and she doesn't want any issues coming to her because of the stuff that's taking place in front of her building with her friend and a bartender. She didn't want any of that, right? Um, we go on to Noel, Preston, Bria, and Amir going food shopping, where Noel inquires some information about Alex from Amir. Amir confirms that Alex is somewhat interested in Noel, saying that, she was a sweet girl, she was very nice, and, she was pretty, or whatever the case was. At the house, Jasmine shares information that Mariah will be coming for a weekend. Simply Tuesdays, right? 2 days. Mariah was from season one. She was Jasmine's best friend who she was homeless with and living in a car with at one point. Mariah was very soft spoken and into more eclectic things that the others weren't into. She was more into, you know, doing not rituals. I don't want to say that. Moon events where you meditate and do all of that, find that you're more spiritual stuff, your inner being, and all of those kinds of things that Mariah was into. um I don't think she was in the house for a whole week before she got into it with Bria. Now with that, not for nothing, everybody had an issue with Bria and her damn dog last season. Bria brought her dog to the house unbeknownst to anyone. Um, then let her dog shit, sit, lay, sleep, slob all over the house, not picking up after the dog or anything like that. So people were continuously saying that they're telling Bria that she needed to pick this up or clean that up. It was something so constant with Bria and her dog and stuff like that. So when it came down to it, unbeknownst to everyone else in the house, Amir threw Bria's dog Milo's things into the laundry with everyone's towels, or I believe it was the towels. I don't think it was anything else but towels and stuff like that. Um, threw threw the dog stuff into the laundry with the people's towels, right? And Mariah thought it was Bria who did it. Cause not for nothing, she going around all nonchalant, thinking, whatever her dog is doing. Oh, okay. She was just shrugging it off, like, okay, yeah, he did. Oh, okay. Like it was so annoying that she did that. But anyway, Mariah confronted Bria about it, and Bria got real tough real quick, right? Getting up in Mariah's face, chesting up to Mariah. Mind you, Bria is a small little thing, and Mariah is so much more taller than Bria. Basically, almost towering Bria. But Bria is like getting real tough with Mariah, and Mariah just standing there like letting her run her mouth, and then Bria basically was trying to somewhat punk Mariah down, but it wasn't going down like that. Instead, Mariah took Bria's dog's things and placed them on Bria's chest. She didn't push her, she didn't mush her, she didn't nudge her, she didn't knock her down, anything like that. She placed the things onto Bria's chest, and all hell broke loose after that. They made this big thing about how Mariah like put her hands on Bria, and she felt disrespected, and then Jordan just blew it up and made it seem like Mariah like physically assaulted Bria. It was just like super crazy, and I wanted both of them to shut up, just shut up, because that's not what happened. And it was so annoying because it really wasn't that deep. Like she really didn't do anything crazy to Bria. It wasn't anything crazy. The only I don't think anybody should put their hands on anyone. But the way Mariah went about it, like she just placed the stuff onto to Bria's chest. I feel like it really wasn't that deep. But Bria and Jordan made such a big deal about it, to the point where the house had to vote to have Mariah leave the house, which was super messed up. So Jasmine states that she's regretted it, because she didn't have Mariah's back when that whole thing took place last season, right? So she made sure to extend the invitation to her this season to have her stay for a weekend. She didn't think it would be a big deal, but she wanted to bring it to the house, right? We also learned that Phil may be popping up at the house too. So Phil, let's just get into him real quick. Phil came into the house last season on some bull of the shit. He he showed his ass, right? He had his little cameo last season, and when he came into the house, he was only there but about few hours, right? And within those few hours, he showed up late. He was drunk as hell. Took a shit in Nick's toilet without flushing it, right? Offended Preston, who was the only one in the house at the time when he arrived, by calling him soft, which Preston felt very uneasy about because he has dealt with people like that in his past who was not so receptive to him being gay, right? Then when everybody got back to the house, he got into it with Jordan, damn near almost having a physical altercation with her. Well, more so, Jordan was about to have a physical altercation with him. He was slightly trying to, ignore Jordan, but she just kept on going. She was literally about to pop off on him, that they had to hold her back and just basically take her into another room. Then he tried to punk Nick by telling Nick, "Oh nah, you could flush your toilet. So what? I took a shit in your toilet. You could flush it." And he was basically trying to punk him. Then he was trying to talk shit to Alex for some reason, don't know. And then he almost fought Amir. Like they were almost about to really go there to the physical, right? They had every right to kick his ass out that house when they kicked him out that house to make sure that he was not coming back the next day. But anywho, Jasmine suggests that they have a meeting because they are having some upcoming events, and there's going to be guests coming to the house. They just want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable with the guests that's arriving. So she wants to have a house meeting. Cool. While food shopping, Noel buys Alex a vegan dish because he's the only vegan in the house, and she also wants to inch a little closer to Alex to make sure like Alex knows that she's interested in him, right? And to make sure, Alex sees her, right? So when they get to the house, Amir announces to Alex that Noel bought him food, and Summer swings her head around, right? Because she don't care, but she care, right? She care. So at first, when she swung her head around, she had this nasty look on her face, like what? But she caught herself and she just right settled. But Alex says he doesn't like tofu because it was a tofu sandwich. He doesn't like tofu, but it'll do. That would have been the last time I bought his ass anything. So rude. So rude. He couldn't say thank you. Oh, that was nice of you, Noel, for thinking of me. None of that. He didn't say none of that. He was like, yeah, it's tofu. I don't like tofu, but it'll do. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have bought his ass nothing after that. That would have been my first and last time buying him something. Fuck his vegan dishes. Sorry. And then Summer goes into the confessional and says, "Oh, thank God thank God I'm passing him off to somebody else to deal with because I couldn't do it anymore." Girl, you don't care, but you care. That all. So everyone gathers for a house meeting where Jasmine brings up that they have some upcoming events. So she wanted to discuss two guests in particular that should be coming, that will like to come to the house, that would like to come to the house. She brings up Phil first. Amir gets to it and says that he shouldn't be allowed into the house for reasons I previously stated. Alex concurs. Preston says Phil's vibes are off-putting and unhealthy. Jordan follows up with how she never received an apology for Phil about their almost physical altercation. Okay, girl. Nick's Nick ended with his presence in the house doesn't make any logical sense, which I totally agree with. Bria and Shanice agree with them all with what they're saying and respects what they're saying. But in Bria's confession, she's still caping for Phil, talking about she don't understand why grown ass people can't get over stuff in the house. You know what? She is such a hypocrite. She is such a hypocrite. I thought we was gonna do better this season, girl, but we are not. We are starting to see that you still the same. You know what? Anywho, girl, you know what? Shut up. It's a no for Phil. Nobody don't want him there. Cool. Jasmine then brings up Mariah. A mayor person says they would love for Mariah to come. Bria then makes this solely about her. And she gets up and walks away to the kitchen saying she's cool with it, right? She's cool with it. But in the same breath saying people don't care if she gets disrespected. But you was just going up for someone who disrespected more than half the house last season. And I don't think that makes sense, Bria. Again, you're a hypocrite. Eventually, Bria shrugs it off and was like, okay, I don't care. You know, she can come. She can come. Anywho, Bria and Shanice then go out onto the deck where they get on the phone with Phil to tell him no one wants him in the house, basically. Mainly Preston. I don't like that they said Preston's name because he wasn't the only one who said something about Phil not coming into the house. Amir said it. Excuse me. Amir said something. Jordan said it. Alex and Nick. Amir spoke more than anyone from what we saw anyway, right? So I don't like that she did that. I don't like that they pinpointed Preston out like that. Like that was especially because Preston sees that he's close to Bria in particular, and for her to like pinpoint him like that when he's getting on the phone with Phil, that I feel like that was kind of messed up. Anyway, Phil then reveals that Mariah and him already made plans to meet up while they're in Martha's Vineyard. Turns out Jasmine already booked Mariah's flight a while back. Bria feels played. While I agree with Jasmine about this whole Mariah situation, and I feel like Bria is just making this so much more bigger than what it is. I do understand how Bria felt like Jasmine played in her face at that point in time. Because this whole time you already had this plan in motion prior to this house meeting, and you just now telling me about it. Like you're not telling me about it, you're asking me if it's okay when you already had the plan in motion. It is kind of messed up, but I don't think it's that deep with Mariah. I honestly don't think it's that deep, especially because Summer and Bria got into it last season where Summer really physically assaulted Bria by pushing old girl down to the ground. And they cool. How does that make sense? Whereas Mariah gently put clothes, push, not push, I won't say push. She put clothes against Bria's chest. And somehow that's worse than what Summer did to you. Girl, that's some bull. That is some bull. And supposedly you're scared of Mariah more so than you are of Summer. Why? I don't know. Girl, shut up. Everyone gets ready for the night and goes out to dinner. at dinner, they talk about how much fun Shanice's party was the night before. And Shanice, says how great it was hosting for the very first time a party. She never hosted a party before, so she was glad that everybody had such a great time, especially because it was a way to get away from all of the serious conversations that they were having. Like, everything doesn't always need to be so heavy. Sometimes you just want things to feel so light and breezy, especially while you're on vacation. You don't want to constantly be in heavy conversations where you're bringing the mood down and it's just like, ugh, like, you don't want that. So it was great that everybody got to just have fun and drink and just party for a while without any issue. Bria, girl, then goes into questioning Jasmine about Mariah's, visit. She asks if Mariah's ticket is booked. Jasmine says yes, as of last night. Yes, as of now, right? Bria says since when, and then Jasmine says last night. Bria at the table, you know, at the table, I wish Jasmine would have put her big girl panties on and just told the truth downright. Yes, I bought Mariah's ticket well in advance prior to our house meeting because I didn't think her coming was going to be so much of an issue, especially because you had a physical altercation with Summer last season as well, and Summer is here with no problem, sitting right next to you, partying and shit, right? So I didn't think it was going to be an issue. Instead, what we got was Bria pulling Jasmine's card and being exhaustingly extra over this whole Mariah shit, bro. Then you got Jordan jumping in to help advocate for Bria's feelings. Like, Jordan, shut up. She don't need you to help her. She got this. Especially because you wasn't there when she was on the phone with Phil. Like, calm down. Like, we get it. We get it. Summer tries to defend Jasmine, by saying, we should be thankful that everybody should be thankful that, Jasmine brought it up, or grateful that Jasmine brought it up and brought it to everybody's attention that she wanted to invite Mariah. So, let's just go with that instead of just harping on she booked her ticket already, right? Which I completely agree with. But then Jordan, Shanice, and Bria shut her down. And Summer's basically like, well, it really isn't that deep. And then they all was like, no, it is that deep. Like, you know what? And then Shanice, which pissed me off. She would, I don't know what would have happened if she would have did this to me, but she basically waved her hand at Summer and said, go get us some shots. Girl, rude as fuck, right? In her confessional, Jasmine chested up and she said she did what she had to do. And when she did what she had to do when inviting Mariah back. And I agree, but I wish you would have said that to everybody at the table, including Bria, right? Amir then sets for Summer and Shanice to have a talk amongst the group. They basically come to a resolve. I'm done talking about, Shanice and Summer. They basically come to a resolve about the whole, worst dress situation. And Summer basically apologizes. Bria texts her mom saying that she's ready to go home, and she says her car is here, so she gets up and leave, and Nick follows her out to make sure she gets to the car safely. Preston says he's so tired of Bria walking out, and that next time she walks out of Martha's Vineyard, she should be leaving to New York or Germany somewhere. And I 100% agree, because this is what she does. When she is not getting her way, she gets up and she walks away, which is so disrespectful to the other people around her. So disrespectful and very dismissive, annoying. Others get up and leave the table. Summer begins breaking down about the way Jordan speaks to her. The guys say that Summer and Jordan can be very aggressive in their tones when speaking. Summer chalks it up to it must be that they're still just basically just trying to learn each other. Um, I think if they want to remain friends or actually become real friends, they have to be real with each other, and they have to be willing to take accountability for the things that they do say to each other. Um, Summer and Jordan are really cool with each other. Right now, I'm not sure if they're actually friends. That word is just used way too loosely nowadays, but they're saying that, that they're friends, but the way that certain things, happen between them is like, how can some like you guys be friends when you can't even like take accountability for the things that you say and how you act, or the tone that you use towards each other, like the way that Jordan would talk to Bria like she just some kind of regular degla smegla chick on the street sometimes, and someone's just like taken aback. Like it's a little weird. I don't know. Anywho, everyone except bratty ass Bria goes to the club. They have a good time dancing and drinking, and Noel peeps Alex flirting with girls while they're at the club. He walking around getting his Mac on or whatever, player, right? Noel feeling some type of way. So, she goes in the bathroom with Jasmine and Shanice, and she says like she's feeling some type of way, and she's basically saying, should I feel some type of way? And they say 100% you should be feeling some type of way. You're interested in him, and he knows that you're interested in him. So, he should be acting accordingly, but he's not. So, Noelle is in kind of in her feelings. So she lets it settle for a little bit, but she still sees Alex, going about, flirting with people. So then she's like, should I say something? They tell her, yeah, why don't you just talk to him? That was the worst advice they could have gave her. I don't know why they did that, but she listens to them, and she pulls, Alex outside, and they start to talk or whatever. And Lord, she basically tells Alex that she's interested in him, and he basically says he's getting to know Noel as a new person of the group. Boy, what that mean? I don't know. Anywho, Noel goes on to tell Alex that, when she finds interest in somebody, or she feels like she likes somebody, she starts to become territorial of the people that territorial. I don't know why she said that to him. That's that's a big red flag to dudes. Territorial, especially single dudes who ain't trying to be in relationship dudes, right? Fuck boy dudes, right? Then she said she was acting single the night before when she was flirting around with Hendrix dude, right? Girl, you wasn't acting, you are single. You are single. And so is Alex. So with all this, I don't understand this extraness. I don't know what transpired behind the scenes and not in front of the camera for you to feel like this is not what single people should be doing. Like, you don't got no ties to this man. I don't get it. And after that, you definitely won't have ties to this man. Anyway, Alex is being Alex, a fuckboy at his finest. So he basically with the way he did Summer, and Summer, who says she doesn't care, but she cares, right? She cares. All of that was proof on how this situation was going to somewhat play out, right? Now he's looking at you like you crazy, because it's like, what? Like, acting single, being terrorist. This dude let her down as gently as possible, which I appreciate, but at the same time, that doesn't negate the feelings that she has by him basically, for the lack of a better term, rejecting her, right? Sad but true. It was definitely cringe to watch, but it is what it is. So they leave the club to go home. Upon arriving home, Alex, Summer, Jordan, and Preston sit in the car in the driveway while Summer and Jordan are going back and forth. They're basically having it out in the car about the way Jordan speaks to Summer, and how she constantly cuts Summer off, and this and that, right? And how she's just so aggressive with her words and her tone sometimes that it's confusing to Summer. So they're going back and forth, and Preston is just basically trying to calm them both down, but it's just it's just not happening. They're gonna continue to go back and forth. Um, Meanwhile, Noelle is in her room crying about being embarrassed and disappointed about the stuff that happened with Alex while they were at the club. Honestly, I feel really bad for her. Um, I know what it feels like to sit there and pour your feelings out to somebody only for them to reject you. And it is embarrassing and it's very disappointing. But it's just basically just time to move on. In the driveway, you know, Summer starts to walk away from the car, but then turns back around and says that she had one more thing to say. But before she could actually say it, Jordan cuts her off again, and they continue to go back and forth. And Summer basically saying that she's just getting so tired of always having to, be accommodating to Jordan's feelings, and she's just so tired of it. And she basically storms off and storms into the house and asks Jasmine if she could sleep in her room because she just can't take Jordan for the night. And then it ends with saying to be continued, right? So that's basically it for Summer House Martha's Vineyard Season 2, Episode 3. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share me with all of your people all over your social media. And please come back and watch me again. Okay? Bye. Have a good night. Bye.